Hello everyone, and welcome to this video about the basic Google Sheets interface. In this lesson, we'll take a look at the starting screen and interface elements you see before creating your very first spreadsheet. In this lesson, we will examine the initial Google Sheets interface before creating your first file. Here in front of us is the starting screen that you land on after clicking on Google Sheets. In the top left corner, we have the burger menu, 3 parallel lines. Here, we can switch from Google Sheets to Docs, Slides, Forms, or Drive. We can also click here to bring up Help if we select Help and Feedback. The Help panel will appear on the right. In it, you can read about a topic of interest, send feedback, search for something using the search field, send a question to the community, or simply close it by clicking the close icon on the right side of the pop-up. Also here, you'll find Settings. This is where you can choose a language. The link to change the language is highlighted in blue. If you click on it, you will be taken to the language selection settings. In the Preferred Language block, you'll see the language that is currently set as the interface language for all Google services. By clicking on the pencil Edit icon next to Preferred Language, you can select another main language from the available list. In the Other Languages section, you can add languages that you can also use to interact with Google services. To do this, click on the Add Another Language button, then select the desired language from the list. Additional languages may be used by Google to display content if it is not available in the main language, or if Google detects that you frequently use another language. After adding or changing languages, you need to click Save. You can delete a language by clicking the trash can icon. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a switch labeled Automatically Add Languages on. If this function is enabled, Google can automatically add languages that you use in other services. For example, if you frequently search for something in another language, or use translations. If you wish, you can disable this option so that Google does not add languages automatically. Changes to the language on this screen affect the interface of most Google services: Gmail, Google Drive, YouTube, etc. Let's return to the settings. Below the language setting is the Always Show Right-to-Left Controls checkbox. This setting is related to support for languages in which text is written from right to left, for example, Arabic, Persian, or Hebrew. When it is enabled, the box is checked. Google Sheets will always display the controls that let you quickly switch text direction and change the orientation of cells, ranges, to a right-to-left format. If you only work with languages that use a left-to-right direction, you don't need this option. But if you need to format cells for languages where reading is right to left, checking this box simplifies access to the relevant tools. In other words, the checkbox is there to keep those right-to-left tools visible at all times. Next is the Display Recent Templates on Home Screens checkbox. If it is checked, then the ready-made Google Sheets templates will always appear on the main screen. If you uncheck it, they will not appear on the main screen. Moving on, there is the offline switch. If you turn it on, Sheets will be saved to your device, and you'll be able to open, edit, and even create new documents without being connected to the internet. Once you are back online, the changes will automatically be uploaded to the cloud. The documents, their offline versions, will be stored on this device. For security reasons, it is not recommended to enable this function on public or shared computers. After that, there is a switch in the Activity Dashboard block. If you enable Show Your View History, other users who have access to the document will be able to see exactly which document you viewed and when. If you disable it, your viewing history, the fact that you viewed the document and the time you did so, will not be displayed to others. This only applies to documents that you share access to, and, conversely, you can see others' view history if they also have this setting enabled. When you change any settings, Make sure to click OK to save those changes. At the top of the screen is a search bar. It's helpful if you have many files. By using search, you can find the file you need by name. If you decide not to search, just click the close icon or anywhere else on the screen. Next, you'll see various options for creating a spreadsheet. You can click Blank Spreadsheet to create an empty spreadsheet from scratch, or select a template, which we mentioned in the settings. If you click the three dots next to Template Gallery, you can hide the templates. You can always show them again by checking the box in the settings. If you click on Template Gallery, all the available templates will appear. They are divided by category. For example, education-related templates, like an attendance tracking template, or work-related templates, like an invoice template. To go back from the templates, click the left arrow in the top left corner. Below, you will see your files. We already have one created file called Test. You can filter files by ownership. For example, they may be your files, anyone's files, or files that are not owned by you. By clicking on the table icon, you can change the file view. For example, a list view or a grid view with previews of the spreadsheets. You can also sort files alphabetically, or show files you have recently opened, recently modified, or just files that were previously modified by anyone in shared files that you have access to. The folder icon allows you to open other files. You can open previously opened files, files from your drive, files that were shared with you, or starred files. You can add files to favorites, and then they will appear under Starred. The Computers tab in Google Sheets is a way to access files that are synced from your computer via Google Drive for desktop, or if backup and sync was set up in the past. Upload is needed for manually uploading files from your computer. To do this, click Browse or drag the file from your computer. In this window, you can also change how files are displayed, from grid to list, and back again. You can also use search and filters by file type, modification date, or owner. To open a file, simply click on it once. Next to each file, there are three dots. If you click on them, you can rename the file, delete it, open it in a new tab, so the current page remains open, or enable offline availability, which we've already discussed. Next to the name of each file, there may be an icon of two people. This means the file is not only available to you, but also shared with someone else. Thus, we have reviewed the entire initial interface of Google Sheets before creating your first spreadsheet. That wraps up our look at the starting interface in Google Sheets. We hope this overview helps you navigate the basic settings and features so you can feel confident when you move on to creating your very first spreadsheet.